Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is spank that like button, like you would your favorite cute anime girl, and help this video reach a wider audience. And now on with the memes. Number 1, NASA is monitoring an asteroid that could collide with the Earth in 2046. It would be the first Valentine's Day on record where everyone gets smashed. The chances of this happening is only 1 in 400, which is better than most men's chances of getting a Valentine's date on Tinder. We need to make this happen. Someone needs to get Elon and SpaceX to nudge the asteroid towards the Earth, so all the single people's prayers can finally be answered. Up next, speaking of celestial bodies, you need to stop blaming yourself for your failures, and learn astrology and blame the planets instead. I guess now you know why astrology is so popular with women. It means they don't have to take agency for the outcomes of their actions. Many of them also decorate their homes and learn feng shui. That way they can also blame the furniture when something goes bad. Number 3, this woman's husband treated her poorly, and it made her miserable. The moral of the story is, treat her poorly and she'll stay by your side. Be mean to keep her keen. Provide drama because women hate perfect men and they find them boring and they leave them. They're only happy in their unhappiness. Another word of advice to men is don't marry a woman that looks like a dude. And women don't marry a dude that looks like a woman. Moving on, what the hell is going on with black women's hair lately? At least it looks like they're trying some sort of new style. To me, it looks like some guys' pubes got stuck to their foreheads after they did the hanky spank me. I knew this looked familiar and it was worn by Josephine Baker back in the 1920s. So the style just looks like it's being recycled from the flapper era. They probably just did it to cover their giant foreheads. Number 5, looks like Andrew Tate will stand trial in Romania on human trafficking charges. If he gets convicted and goes to prison and he sleeps with the men there, it won't be gay sex if the testes aren't touching. He has to be the dumbest smart person in the world. He admitted to his crimes in videos he made for his courses teaching guys how to be digital pimps. But he'll claim the Matrix is out to get him even though he was the one that did things wrong. Up next, Gen Z women are paralyzed with fear of turning 30 and becoming unattractive hags, and then life might as well end at 22. Looks like women are finally learning to fear the wall and becoming a leftover woman. A woman's beauty peaks out at 21 or 22. What they really fear, though, is that they won't be able to ride the rooster roller coaster with any man they find attractive after they get past 22. But their problem is just called Thursday in the life of an average man. Number 7, a woman says having one of her toys die in the bedroom is like having sex with a man. Some guy responds back by saying, yup, even a machine gets tired of you just laying there. Women just take the old starfish position in the bedroom. But starfish belong in the sea. Looks like she needs some Energizer batteries that keep going and going and going. And in a weird twist of fate, just as her toy battery dies, the smoke detector starts beeping. Moving on is a trend I hope catches on. This woman got stood up on a date, but finds out that the restaurant tricked her into eating dinner alone by creating a dating profile and posing as a guy. With 50% of restaurants on the verge of going bust in America, including what just happened to Red Lobster, I'm not surprised that they would resort to stuff like this. The restaurants know that 9 out of 10 times women will still buy something if they get stood up. Then again, maybe she made this story up to promote herself in an article and hope guys would hit on her because they feel sorry for her. But before she goes out with any of them, she needs a nose job and to get rid of the warts on her face. Number 9, we have a woman wondering why no one will hire her. Looks like she should have settled down with Kermit the Frog while she had a chance. Besides, who would hire an anthropomorphic pig lady? That's just too much of a liability these days. She looks way too cute to be a left-leaning individual on the rainbow spectrum. I also see that the AI that generated this still has a problem getting the hooves just right. Up next, we have a woman that successfully sued her sperm donor and now gets 40% of his paycheck. This has to be a parody, or every sperm bank in the world would end up going bankrupt. But you know that one day when enough men refuse to marry women, they'll try pulling this sort of thing off. But the sperm banks have been running low on supply in recent years because no man wants to risk putting his jizz in a warehouse and later getting hosed for his life savings by doing a favor. Number 11, the birth rate has fallen to its lowest point since they started keeping records in the 1930s. It's going to fall faster as AI takes all the jobs away and as the sex bots show up and women lose their man-panions. It might get so bad that you'll see Elon Musk on the side of the road holding up a sign that says, "Make more babies." Your great-grandmother had 12 children, and the average woman's son is a castrated cat these days. Extinction is incoming. Moving on, this woman is complaining because she couldn't get a job at TJ Maxx. Something tells me that the tattoo of Baphomet between those chesticles didn't help very much. But eventually there'll be so many women like this out there that we'll see them working everywhere. In fact, there are articles out in Japan where some businesses are dropping dress standards to attract unattractive workers. I'll bet you anything that some beta is taking this picture and paying for her dinner and that flight of margaritas. Number 13, women can't help but have preferences before the age of 25, because they turn down 95% of men at that point. But after 25, when only 50% of men they want turn them down, they lose it, shaming them and calling them pedo groomers. Looks like the ladies have finally discovered the wall. My favorite part is the condom on the head of the 25-year-old girl. Up next is the difference between being curvy and fat. This is the same woman just 2 years and 3 cats later. There are only 2 things that should jiggle above a woman's waistline, and one of those things is definitely not her belly button. But these days so many men are desperate that they would gladly take the woman on the right if she didn't come with a twig and berries and took a shower to get that sweat off. Number 15, this woman says that cheating is one of the most loving things you can do as a woman, because it stresses out that guy so that he elevates himself. The anguish he feels will help his spirit grow, she says. She says she's responsible for turning weak and boring men into titans. I also have to thank this woman because she's making more men that go their own way. She's just saying this because she's single and wants other women to wreck their relationships the way that she wrecked hers, because misery loves company. Moving on, the New York Compost says that daily showers offer no real health benefits. Yes, this coming from the same people that tell you and encourage you to eat the bugs. If I was the elites and I wanted to get people used to eating the bugs, I'd coat them in chocolate and candy, like they did back in the 60s and 70s. Also, maybe they're encouraging this so that people don't complain about all the migrants that are flooding into the West. Number 17, this is non-male domination over women, but the future of the human species in single men, straight or otherwise. Hundreds of dudes in a single room listening to a surrogacy presentation, choosing an alternate reproductive strategy. Governments won't ban this because they need tax serfs and will promote the idea that women are vending machines for babies if they have to. Western women have gotten so bad that they would rather do baby farming. Up next, this 60-year-old woman represents Buenos Aires and plans to become the world's oldest Miss World Universe contestant. They say that beauty knows no age, and she looks good for being a geriatric giner, but I disagree. There's definitely a cutoff. If trans single mothers and geriatric women can enter and win beauty competitions these days, then beauty has lost all meaning. They want to lower the threshold for what chads find beautiful so they can compete with the younger and more attractive women. Number 19, for most guys dating in their 30s, their best worst option is a slightly used single mother in her early 30s. But I'll take twice-a-year trips to Thailand for the daily double Alex. But if you have enough money and are fit, then you could do much better even scoring a woman in her 20s. But women in their 30s hate that and want you to take this option instead. Moving on is a woman that says her car is making a terrible noise, and the mechanic says that she should try taking the Taylor Swift CD out. That just dates the mechanic, and he's also insulting her that her car is so old to actually have a CD player instead of an MP3 one. He should have told her, here, put this AC/DC disc in and give it a try. Then again, the car doesn't even have a CD player, and she's too young to know what it is, and he's just toying with her. Number 21, we have a single mom with 3 kids with different dads, and she's looking for a new man to be their role model. But don't worry, she can support them because of the child support money and her temporary Lonely Fools account. But of course, she doesn't actually want to make content with you. She would just prefer that you film it, of course. She's also mentally ill, and you must be 6 feet tall and can only be with her every second weekend. Great. Where do I sign up? Up next, Spanish soldiers are changing their gender to female for added benefits and higher pay. I wonder if they get time off for maternity leave too every time they take a poo. They're also saying that on the inside they're lesbians. Does anyone really blame them? It's less work for females, less dangerous, and a lot more money. If men walked away from the system, that would be great. But if men become or identify as women, then they get government entitlements, which just makes the system crash even faster. Plus, of course, most men are actually lesbians. Number 23, they're gaslighting us. When I was a kid, we were told we were getting rid of paper bags to save the environment and the trees. Now they're saying they're replacing the plastic bags to save the environment with the paper kind. We also need to keep things in perspective. You have to use a cotton bag 7,000 times that's reusable for it to be worth it environmentally. It was never about the environment. It was just about selling you reusable bags that you only use once and making more money from it. The whole green thing is a scam. Moving on, the whole Queers for Palestine movement might as well be called chickens for KSE. How can those on the left and the rainbow people spectrum be so stupid? They say that Allah loves equality, but I disagree. I think that he likes rocks a lot more. Number 25 and the last one, the reason liberals are trying to destroy gaming and films is because they don't want men to have any other escape except for being with them. They see it as competition, so they have to destroy anything that competes with their attention and cooch. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm and so new viewers can find it. If you enjoyed this series and want me to keep making it, then donate at the PayPal and subscribe star links below. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.